Hi. That's the first thing that is going to be said today.
Can you see and hear us? How's it going?
How are you guys? So everything.
Yeah,
every
I just
single
noticed like the
time.
chair
Let's not
is super
even talk about it.
misplaced.
Every time.
Oh my god, love the new hair. Thank you. Me too. Yeah. Yes, can hear and see you.
Thank
Awesome.
you. How are you guys doing
you.
today? Do you have your tea?
I was gonna ask the same thing. And if you do, what tea is it?
Yeah. What tea are you having today? I'm not having anything because it's too hot as usual.
Yeah, I'm
But
gonna
mine
wait
is
a
like
little
a
too.
pumpkin spice with turmeric
Right. Mine is black tea with cayenne pepper
and pumpkin spice.
and pumpkin spice.
It's like I made a concoction myself and I'm calling it pumpkin spice.
How much did you chop off? Around 30 centimeters, like this much.
A lot.
Yeah. Good. How are you? I'm awesome.
Yeah, doing great. I don't have tea. I'm having lunch. Oh, what are you eating? Just water. That's great too.
Yeah, that's perfect.
That's a beverage.
Yeah.
So today we wanted to simply just come and answer your questions. No being coming to be channeled in particular or anything. So until you start asking your question, maybe we should talk about the channeling we have after this.
Yes.
In about half an hour. We are channeling, we are having this new format of channeling on our Patreon for tier 6 and up, where it's like a group session. So people get to come on screen and we talk, and it's on Zoom. So you get to ask your questions either on screen with us as if it was like a session, or you can just type it on chat as well. And today we are channeling your Elven aspect, which is super exciting. That's the first time we are channeling the elves. And they have this beautiful, loving energy, so soothing, so I can't even express. They are just
So
amazing. So
yeah.
So we are doing that on Patreon. If you want to join us, the link is below. And again, it's like we are channeling, like when you channel your higher self, we channel your higher self or your inner child. This time it is your Elven aspect, which I have great feelings about. I think it's going to be so nice. And we are like introducing this whole new realm in our Patreon. And we'll be glad to have you if you want to come join us.
It's gonna be awesome. And also we are having a giveaway today.
Yes.
Later after the channeling, we will do the random name picker for anyone from tiers 2 and up. We are giving away 4 sessions, so 4 people are gonna win 2 Reiki sessions with me, or 2 20-minute reading with any. Each person gets 1.
Yeah. So if you want to participate, just join any tier from tier 2 and up on our Patreon. The link is also below this video here. And everyone that is there is automatically just up.
Participating.
Yes. And you have until today to join, and we will share the winners tomorrow maybe, or later on today. But I think we should give like the rest of the day so everybody can join. And tomorrow we will announce the 4 winners for that. So yeah, that's fun too.
Got my peppermint tea.
Yay.
Yes. I sort of hate decorating for Christmas, so I'm having wine mixed with some grape juice to have me not be anxious.
That's
a good idea.
Great idea. When I was into drinking wine, I used to mix it with orange juice. And that was nice too.
Bruno's having mashed potatoes, beans, lettuce, and veggie nuggets.
Wow. That nice.
Sounds delicious, actually. What does that square behind you mean? This one?
Oh, it is a light language. It is like an Egyptian kind of activation. And I've been creating lots of those mandalas lately, and they are blessings. And as all light language, they all mean different things. They all mean something personal to each one of you. So what does it make you feel? That's a better question, you know? So ask yourself, when you look at it, what does it make you feel? So that tells you what it is activating in you. That's how I experience light language.
Yes. Maybe ask questions of the elves in general or just our fractal?
During the channeling, yes, you can ask everything. They are going to introduce themselves, and we can get to know them a little better and understand what kind of energy they have to offer. I feel like it's going to be a very activating channeling. Like, a lot of people might start remembering their own connections with this realm, you know, with this elven realm. And there are so many beings that come from that realm, like dragons and fairies and all sorts of elemental beings. So you get to ask all questions about that. And if you want like a message from your own elven self, and I'll share with you what they look like for me, you know, what energy they have, what kind of signature they have, and everything related to that. So you can place them, you know, in yourselves, and then start working with this, because they are so magical, you know, they are such powerful alchemists and healers. So I'm very excited for the channeling after this.
Me too. Are there beliefs or thoughts and emotions at the root of all my health issues?
Yes, they all start with that.
Très chic, Flavia. Merci. I mix my wine with sparkling water.
Huh.
That sounds interesting. Like a siju? Is that it?
Yeah, it could be whatever it means to you, you know. It is like a blessing, a light language blessing. This one was channeled from the goddess Isis, Egyptian goddess Isis. And that also, you know, on the other side. So it's more about what it touches in you, you know.
Yes, I was going to ask. Don't know what. I love your hair. Thank you. Will you tell us more about some of the new energies that have been showing up for you recently, Annie, such as the black and white guardians?
That's cool, because I just had this experience where I woke up in the middle of the night, and at my door there were two Anubis guards. One was dressed completely in white, and one was dressed completely in black, and they were facing each other. Like, my door is here and they are like facing each other. And I woke up from a weird dream that I cannot remember, and then I looked up and I'm like, something's up, something's happening here. And then I looked at my door and I saw them with my physical eyes, and I'm like, wow, that doesn't often happen, you know. Sometimes I see like beings in my peripheral vision, you know, or it's not as common for me, at least not yet, to look straight and see something. And they were just standing there at my door, and when they acknowledged, you know, that I was awake and I was seeing them, they nodded their heads at me, but kept just looking straight at each other, which was really, really interesting. And then at the other side of my room was Anubis himself, and he was, you know, he looks human for me. He doesn't look like the dog head kind of thing, but the guards were wearing the whole like apparatus, you know, with the dog head and the tunic and everything. And I'm like they're wearing like this armor or something. And then Anubis was at the other end of the room, and he was wearing this cape, which he often does. And he was actually holding one of those long stick things that I don't remember the name anymore. What's the name of that? Shut up. Yeah, he was holding that in my room, and then he also like acknowledged me as if they are like holding staff. Yes, thank you, Dawn. Yes. He was holding one of those, and I was like, oh, this is all so interesting. And I felt so safe and so held and so supported. And so whatever it was that was happening and that I was becoming aware, you know, whatever energetic change or shift was occurring, I felt super held by them as this harmony, between masculine and feminine. That's what I got into the conclusion, that the two images represented, a masculine and a feminine energy. And then there was Anubis. So I feel like there was a lot of magic and alchemy happening while I was in the astral, and they were grounding me and holding my body, so my body feels safe through whatever it is. But I didn't actually dive deeper to understand what that was. I think, though, it was the same day that I got my period. And I often transmute a lot with my period for the whole feminine collective. And I've been listening a lot of talk about how there is a huge cleansing happening in the whole collective, of course, but some pains of the feminine and the masculine that have been, let's say those energies have been misused and misunderstood for a very long time, and we are releasing all of those karmas. So I've heard of many people having pains in their bodies and things related to that, to this whole like cleansing that is occurring in a collective way right now. And as it was like the same day of my period, I imagine there's something related to that. But I didn't dive deeper because it didn't feel right yet to, go deeper and see what was happening and everything. Maybe it would be too overwhelming for my body at the time. I don't know yet. But I know that there's a lot of this feminine and masculine harmony going on right now. And, things are starting to align a little better and feel a little more grounded. And I know that a lot of us, we are doing this kind of work, in the background, as we say. Sometimes it is in our full, quote unquote, awaken, awareness. But sometimes it is just in our sleep time, because that's the easiest way to reach us sometimes, and so your body doesn't hold a lot of that. So I felt really grateful. And then someone else mentioned that to me on our Discord, that I don't remember who it was. Sorry. No, I think it was someone else, that maybe they have, I think it was Indira, that maybe they've always been there. Mm-hmm. And now I'm becoming aware of them, that those guards are there. And now I'm getting some visions, from Isis, from my time in Egypt as Isis. And they would have those ceremonies with sacred sexuality where some beings would stand guard, but it isn't like stand guard to protect you. It is like standing guard to help the energy be shared in a way where it's not too overwhelming for you. So let's say that if she was practicing something with Osiris, in the center of the temple, there would be like a being surrounding them, so to hold space and ground both of them, and to share the energy that they were creating with all the magic that they were bringing through. So that associated with my period, I'm just verbalizing what I haven't really given that too much thought yet. But I will invite Anubis, because he is such a powerful alchemist himself, and I just love working with him.
It's very interesting the way they show up, right?
Yeah. And he's so tall.
Yeah.
So handsome, by the way.
I love the guardians. They're so cool. Quiet, but their presence is so powerful and protective.
Yeah, they were just quiet. They just did like this, like, I'm here.
Don't you get scared when these beings show up in your room?
I used to, but now I don't anymore. That's most often how I see them. In like when I wake up in the morning and my room is all dark, and then I see someone. I remember when Sekhmet showed up for me the first time, and first she was like this huge lioness in the side of my room, and behind her it was like there were no walls at all, and it was just the universe, and she was just sitting there so majestic. And then she kind of morphed into a human. Anubis, when he showed up for me the first time, was the same thing. I was just laying there sleeping. In the middle of the night I wake up, and then I see someone standing in my room, like this huge dude just standing there. And at the same moment I get this recognition, that feeling that who they are, and that they are not going to harm you. So then I was like, oh, hi, thank you for showing up in the middle of the night with a cape and everything. That's not creepy at all. But in the beginning I would. And someone that would scare me often, and also the same being that took all my fear away, was Lilith. When I was starting to develop, my sight, she would show up in the middle of the night when I went to the bathroom. And just like, not only like, oh, in the corner and everything, in my face, like, hi, how are you? And I'm like, bitch, will you not? So And she was like, why are you scared of me? Are you scared of me? And then I'm like, I am. I'm sorry. And then you know, yeah. And then you go, no, I'm not scared of you. But your body still goes like, oh my God, there's someone there. And then you get used to it, I guess. I guess it's just my life.
Those are the beings Anubis put around me way back when.
Oh,
It's nice.
there's a lot of
Yeah.
alchemy there. I knew you were going to remember
Yeah.
something when I talked about it.
It's impossible not to talk about Anubis and not think of Brandy.
Yes, totally.
See you at next program. See
Ah,
you, Dawn.
okay.
I'm observing more of people's inner children needing more attention, like a cry for someone to parent them. Have you noticed that? Any guidance?
Yes, I have a lot. I've seen that a lot. And I would say parent your inner child. And also sometimes it isn't because what they want, your inner children, they want validation from you. It's not from anything or anybody else. That's what they want the most. It is to feel seen sometimes. It's the only thing and validated. And sometimes when you just do that, they calm down, because sometimes what your inner children can do is start throwing tantrums at everything and everyone all the time, because such as a child that wants to uh, you know, be seen and wants to call attention, they do something to do that. So creating a more loving communication with your inner child, I think that's the way to go, you know, so we can meet their needs, because that's just another part of us. That's just another nuance of God within us. And it's not something for us to neglect or to throw aside or to kill or anything at all. It is just a part of us. So I feel like opening that communication, allowing them to express how they feel and be present with them. You know, it's like, I'm here with you. So what is it that you need? Or how is it that you want to be, you know, treated right now? What is it that you have to say? Because sometimes it's just a lot going on and your inner children can't really follow all of the things that are shifting, all of the energies that are going on all the time, and they don't feel heard or seen. So I feel like it's important to establish a loving communication and literally imagine as if they are like a children, you know, they are like a child, like a little child, like a 4 or 3-year-old. How would you treat that being? Because sometimes we can be so hard with ourselves. But if your inner children, if your inner child is telling you, oh, but I feel so ugly today. And if a 3-year-old comes to you and tells you, ma'am, I feel so ugly today, I doubt you would just go like, yeah, you do. You piece of fuck. You wouldn't do that to a child, right? So seeing them as
We
this
hope
loving
not.
being, right? And if you would, there's some work
Yeah.
that is probably needed there. So you would probably hold them and tell them they're beautiful. And sometimes that's just, sometimes all they want is just to be held. So I think my suggestion would be create a more loving relationship and create that as a habit, you know, to constantly be in communication with your inner children, because it's really important to discern sometimes, you know, between what is your inner child talking. Let's just see this happening for a sec. Oh my God. Let me help you.
Thank you.
Oh, dear Lord. I wanted to wear this one. Why are you like this? Anyhow,
You're not even wearing
sisters.
anything.
But I wanted. I was gonna. I will. Anyway, so that's my thing. Someone asked if you see any beings, Flavia.
Sometimes, yes. I don't even notice anymore, to be honest. But they are so around all of the time, like Yeshua and Halel
Yeah.
and Archangel Michael. That I only if it's sometimes like the other day, was it Bastet?
Yeah.
That showed up out of nowhere. They're
Mostly
like,
when
"Oh,
they are
hi."
new, quote unquote
Yeah.
new, and we are
Yeah.
just becoming aware of them.
Then I notice.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just
Or when Yeshua wants to flash his skirt or
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah. But mostly, I think both of us, we see them with our third eye.
yeah.
And it's
Yeah, it's
so
very
cool
rare to see
when
them.
we see the same thing,
Yeah.
which happens every time.
Mhm.
And then it's just like, oh, I saw that too.
What are ghosts? Don't we all have guides to help us cross over?
Cross over where? Where are you going to? Where are you going from? You do, if you believe you will, cross over. If you believe that there is a veil, if you believe there is any sort of separation related to you and them, right? I feel like, let's say, ghosts, they are fractals of ourselves. And sometimes they manifest in so many different ways for us to experience that other part of us. But that's the same thing with our guides as well. They are just fractals of us and pieces of us. So I think that that's a very, well, at least with Yeshua on my side, it's a philosophical kind of question. What are ghosts for you? And how do you interact with them? And that could be the same question as what are demons, for example. They are all fractals of us. And depending on the ways that they are manifesting themselves in your reality, that's how you know what your interaction and agreement with those other parts of you are.
Yeah, I think it's just another name for an energy signature, because we have many names for it.
Yeah.
Yesterday I sensed some beings as well before bed. I think it was 3. I remember a blue being, maybe Arcturian. Any of them has a message for me regarding to this visit? Thank you.
Yeah, they are all from your galactic family. There's something they are calling themselves the ambassadors or of connection and peace. That's how they're calling themselves, as if you are part of this collective. I think that that's what, yeah, they are nodding their heads like, yes, tell her. Very excited and very excited to continue showing up for you, I think. Yeah, they are very excited about that. So dive deeper, ask them questions. They're ready for you.
As a mother of 4 whiny, needy children, it takes so much patience and unconditional love to help them feel validated and loved. I imagine it's the exact same concept with our own inner child.
Yep. Yes. And what I'm hearing now from Mary Magdalene actually is that if you can love your inner child as much as you love your children, then you're good to go. That's all we need.
Mary Magdalene and Yeshua came to me during my dimensional travel last night. What messages are they aligned to emphasize from our experience together?
Mary is showing me the planet. It's like you are observing it from a distance. And she's saying that your perspective is everything. That's what she wants to emphasize. She's saying the way you choose to see and validate things, that's the whole point. I don't know what that means, but that's what she wanted to tell you.
I was told I need 4 surgeries, but last year went through hell because of an issue in an adjacent area with flared up as a result. Can I transcend the need for these surgeries with my thinking by retraining my thoughts and emotions? I wonder what my higher self's take on this.
You can accomplish everything with retraining. I would say reprogramming. Retraining sounds a little bit harsh. I don't know why. That's what your higher self is saying. But he's saying that it's a reprogramming, and most importantly, emotional, and how you are communicating your emotions to your mind, and how you are communicating your emotions for, in your day-to-day life. So there's something there with this. But yeah, you can transcend or create or recreate or reprogram everything by, creating more loving patterns for yourself. But again, let me just say, disclaimer, that I'm not telling you not to do a surgery. I'm not a physician. Just putting it out there.
What are ways to develop our inner sight? I get flashes of things sometimes when I meditate.
I would say my guidance for that is something that I learned with Saint Germain, actually. And It is validating whatever is already present with you, whatever is already, let's say, a gift, like a clair, one of the clairs, right, that you have. So if it is empathy, if it is inner knowing, if it is whatever it is, empower that and allow that to be at the center of the stage, because all of the other clairs, they just come, like clairvoyance, sentience, and all of the other ones, they just come along as it's time for you to accomplish, we'll say, if you want to see it like that. So the most important step is validating what is already there for you, I feel like, because then you are not always overlooking it. Let's say that you are a very empathic person and you can feel what other people are feeling, and it's so natural to you that you're just like, screw this, I want to see things, right? So you're not empowering that one thing that is your strongest. But let's say that that's not the case and you want to do, there are so many tools you can use for that. And also, I feel like understanding that opening your inner sight is not only going to be like seeing things in your mind, because sometimes like you get this deeper vision that isn't totally physical, and sometimes it is very physical. But I feel like knowing that opening your third eye, for example, it's not only seeing things, it is removing the ideas of the veil that you put for yourself. So it is opening the communication with God within you and allowing God to come through however it is that he wants to, for example, so it's not only like seeing things, it comes along the way. And also there's a whole process of reprogramming your body, because most times when you start seeing stuff, your body is gonna be like, oh my God, we're gonna die, So each case is a case.
What can I do to remember my dreams? I know I dream, but it's totally gone upon awakening. I also have very little memory of childhood.
Maybe that's serving you best, not remembering. And sometimes when we empower that and you let go, whatever it is that you're supposed to remember, you are going to. Sometimes we try to force something to happen and we keep like blocking ourselves. So what if you try the opposite? Try to just let go of it. It's like, it's fine. What if I don't remember? And then just go from there. Sometimes that can help. Or set the intention as well. But let's say that you set the intention, you talk to your higher self before you go to bed and you say, okay, I want to remember my dreams tonight. Okay, let me remember. If you don't, I'm of the opinion that you were not, it wouldn't serve you at all in this part of your reality. So you just don't, because your higher self knows best. So maybe just, knowing that your higher self is going to bring through to you what is most beneficial in your now moments. So that's my communication with my higher self, so I tell her, okay, I want to see what is going to serve me in the present moment. What isn't, let's just leave it aside because I don't need it.
I can't seem to open my gifts. Am I doing something wrong? Is something blocked? Or is this just the way I planned it?
I feel like you are neglecting a very, very important gift, and I see your heart, and you have this huge, beautiful, opened heart that everyone that sees you for a second or talks to you once or feels your presence, we feel it, doesn't matter what. And you have this huge, beautiful gift, and you're so giving, so loving, so easy to talk to. So, that's a gift.
Yes.
So that's one of them. That's what Yeshua is saying now. So what are those gifts that you think you don't have? And why is it that you don't think you have them? And what is it that you want to create? Because you can. That's what Yeshua is saying. It's not that I'm telling you this so you give up on creating the things, but just so you can pay attention in how you are communicating with yourself and with your own abilities even. I think it's time to go because we have a channel in 8 minutes.
Yes.
So guys, thank you so much for this beautiful tea time. We are going live now on Patreon for tiers 6 and up.
Yeah.
To do a channeling of your elven aspect. So it is like a group session.
Yes.
And yes, you're welcome to join us if you want. Yes. And I feel like it's going to be beautiful and such
Me
a
too.
like an activation. So there's still time to join. And just remembering the other thing is that
The
we
giveaway.
have a giveaway for all patrons from tier 2 and up. And you can either win one of the 2 sessions with me or one of the 2 Reiki alignments with Flavia. So yes, that's gonna be
Yay.
awesome
It's gonna
too.
be-
So you only have until today to join.
Yes.
And we're going to announce the winner tomorrow. Thank you guys. We'll see you very soon.
Thank you.
Love
See
you.
you. Love you.